What's the intelligence of choosing, often out of our awareness, to be outside of our bodies? So the only place that we can make any kind of mindful, wholly considered decisions, choices, is from that visceral knowing of what's real and true for us. So what's the intelligence of not allowing that visceral knowing to be processed through the body? Right? So many women detach themselves from their moment, detach themselves from their lives, detach themselves from their bodies in a multiplicity of different ways in an effort to not feel. In an effort to not feel. So the irony in that is that they are never not feeling, right? It's like we've been watching Frozen with my son the last couple of days because that's what he does. And it's like the profound commitment of Elsa to not feel. And what does that do? It wreaks havoc in her life. Because guess what? You can't not feel. So what's the intelligence of trying to not feel, of the desperation around not feeling? So many of us will do that because we want to sustain the status quo of our lives because we're afraid of what we might discover lives on the other side of that. So if I'm thinking that if I feel this, it's going to kill me. If I feel this, it's going to transform me. If I feel this, it's going to have this profound impact that I don't want. It might change my relationship with my husband, or it might change my relationship with my children, or it might require that I actually take action on my own behalf, or it might require that I set a boundary. And what are the consequences of all that? So we'll consider those consequences of all that, at least what we think would be the consequences of all that, based on our previous experiences that may or may not be real. But we impose that, we superimpose that onto a future that has not yet happened, and we stop ourselves from actually feeling in the moment that we're in. And that's intelligent, right? Like the intelligence is because we want to continue to live the same life as we've been living. Because if we feel and if we know the visceral truth that the way that we've been living isn't working, and we actually have to face that, then it demands that we change our lives. And so many of us don't know how to do that. So we keep perpetuating that which we've always done. So it's not good, not bad, not right, not wrong. It simply is a matter of, are you noticing? Are you noticing all the ways in which you default to coming out of your body so that you don't feel what the truth of your experience is in that moment? And if that's the case, I invite you to simply inhale your essence back in to the base of your spine and stay there. Stay with everything that's presenting. Stay with the flood of information that's presenting for you, because that's where you'll discover freedom lives on the other end of that. That layer must be integrated for you to be able to see and notice and feel the next layer of what's actually there. So the more you feel, the more you honor what you feel through your body, right? The more you allow your body to process that information that's already in there. Like, it's not going anywhere. It could either go in a loop inside of you between first, second, third, and fourth chakra. So it could do a loop in there and sometimes give you headaches and sometimes give you thyroid cancer and sometimes give you breast cancer. So you can let it go in a loop in there and literally wreak havoc in your life. Or the alternative might be that you actually feel all of it and allow it to move through your body sufficiently until it feels integrated, until it feels digested, until it feels metabolized. Then you go, oh, well, that was interesting. Now what? So I really invite you to begin to consider, when you're checking out, what's actually happening in that moment as you're choosing to check out. Notice, and if you're living your life perpetually checked out, well then, I really invite you to consider to take some time and pause and notice, what kind of life are you living in? Is it in alignment with who you are? Is it in alignment with who you're capable of becoming? Is it in alignment with the life that you want to be living? And if you were, that's a good one, if you were the most empowered version of you that you could possibly imagine, would you still be making the choices that you're making? Would you still be living the life that you're living? I really invite you to honor that. And if it's a yes, perfect. If it's a no, you might want to consider, what is the intelligence of you continuing to live a life that does not serve you or your future? Till next time.